Alright, welcome to the block. Once again, I apologize for my gap in videos here. Can get this a little bit more consistent. I am your host, Kyle Johnston. Got a little bit of Shatter Point kicking it off. This is old school, this brings me back to my roots. Grew up with this shit. Grew up with this. It's a metal band from Hamilton. Actually met them at Cops Coliseum at a Metallica concert. They weren't even going to the concert, but they were there. Couple coolers, handful of CDs. They're just handing them out. We ended up spending, an hour and a half, 2 hours in line with them, shooting the shit. They had a little boombox cranking out the tunes. Whew. This was 10, 11 years ago now. 11 years? I had to have been 17, I think. Had to have been 17. This is like 11 years ago. It's what I grew up with. Little local scene stuff. You know, I grew up 20 minutes east of Oshawa, Ontario. A town called Orono, Newcastle. Right on. I'll play a little bit more. I can tell you all about it. Like I was around the Oshawa metal scene. That's where I ran around. Some of my first concerts down at the dungeon. Below the laser point. Or the laser tag, sorry. Below the laser tag. Most people are like, what are you doing on Friday night? What are you doing on a Saturday night? People are like, going to the movies with my girlfriend. I'm going to this dance. Going to the movies, you know. Or a girlfriend would say, I'm going to the movies with my boyfriend. That's usually what I was. Movies. Me, on the other hand, a couple of my friends, we were like, let's go down to the dungeon. Just taking a girl on a date. What do you want to do? Let's go to a movies. I'm just like, do you want to go down to the dungeon and have some fun? Meet some people? Torsion and RPO. When they were playing at the dungeon, that was a good time. Like a fucking damn good time. Actually, I remember a couple, one date in particular, actually. I was actually on a date, but down there, good time, actually. Good fucking times. No animosity either. No fucking animosity. Sometimes, we had the punkers in there. The fucking ska shit, whatever, with the fucking trumpets and trombones going and shit. That shit ain't for me. I like my punk. I like my Rancid, I like my Pennywise. Dropkick Murphys. That's about it. Draw a line there. Ain't no Blink 182 shit. Ain't no fucking Simple Plan shit. Like that's not punk. Fucking go check out some MC5. That's some fucking punk shit, man. Some snot. Go check some snot out. Lynn Straight. Hope you're up there. Talk a little sense into my bro. But keep an eye on him, man. Straight. Yeah, he was lead singer of Snot, actually. He was walking down the road in LA, I'm pretty sure. Not 100% sure, so don't quote me on this. I don't know where it was, but I know he's walking down the road. A drunk driver actually hit him while he was on the sidewalk. Veered off the road, hit him. They only made one album, Snot. But if you want to see a nice little punk rock, little punk metal fucking band, go check Snot out. They're well before their time. They ain't no Limp Bizkit fucking shit and nothing like that either. That's a little Shatter Point for you. I'll fucking try to play some more for you. But I am Kyle Johnston. This is The Block. It's for the late night addicts and the early morning coffee drinkers. Find my work. Find some links on Twitter at KJ_the block. Find my work on my blog site, Kyle Johnston, theblock.wordpress.com. Check it out. My YouTube page, Kyle Johnston. Check that out. I can go on all day about some local music, the local scene. I'll play a little bit more for you during this. I got some sports picks for you. It's Monday, so we had some EPL action. We're about to get some EPL action on the TV right now. I might have to take down those jerseys and throw on the Crystal Palace Sunderland match. Excuse me. I got a little NFL talk for you. Since it's Monday. Injuries. Fantasy teams. Sure, I'm not the only fantasy team that took a fucking hit. Like, fuck. Somehow I'm fucking surviving this week, too. I survived last week. Won by, like, 0.65. That AJ Green fumble on the last fucking drive. It was enough to fucking push me over the edge. Over the edge. Got me over. Got me to the top. Don't know how, but I'll take it. Sorry about the lighting here. I'll try to fucking fix that, but it's a cloudy day. I'm trying to get some natural light in. Try to run a little bit of tunes here, just a little bit more Shatterpoint for you and stuff like that. Like what? Six, 7 other tracks? Well, I'll start to roll through this. Let's get the show on the road. No rest for the wicked, that's what I say. It's fucking good old school fucking shit. Fucking good shit. Tell you a lot about concerts. Been to a lot. I got a big cork board back at my parents' house with all my stubs from all my events, whether it's sporting events, music events, traveling, backpacking, Euros. First concert was my first ever concert was Rolling Stone and Friends. That SARS Fest. I was in grade 9. That was my first concert. I think I've told that story. My buddy slept over. First time I ever got busted for smoking weed. Buddy slept over, hotboxed my whole room. He had this little bong made out of this metal piping. Now that I think about it, probably took a few years off my life, but good time. First ever real concert, in like a stadium or concert venue, concert hall or stadium, an arena. That's what the word I'm looking for. An arena was a perfect circle. That was back in 2002, something like that. Perfect circle. And just announced Tool. Tool's got a new concert tour. Just announced a new tour. That's fucking big news. Big news for all you Tool fans out there. I'm a big fucking Tool fan. Been waiting 10 years. 10 years come March for a new album. 10,000 Days was released March of 2006. Seen them quite a few times between then and now. But a new concert, a new tour is good news. That means they might, start promoting a new album. Might hear some new tunes. They never really tell you, but you just gotta listen sharply. So I'm sure I'll have a podcast about the Tool event. Probably do a little reporter package there about it. Publish it. I got some work on the way. YouTubers segment that I'm going to publish. A couple of reporter packages I'm about to publish. So let's move on here. So the EPL kicked back off this weekend, off of the international break. Congrats to Hungary. Congrats to Republic of Ireland. Congrats to Sweden. Who's the other guy that snuck in there? Oh, Ukraine. Congrats to Ukraine. All four of those countries qualified for Euro 2016 in France. Yeah, France, eh? Like I said, I'm kind of preparing a trip to go down to France, so we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. It's kind of in the midway stage of being prepared. Fucking just mosh pit into this. Good times, good times, good times. But anyways, United kicked their campaign back off. Taking 3 points. Missing our strikers. Hang on a second, just something's kind of caught my attention here. Just sorry about that. Sorry about that. Sorry about the quality of the music too. It's a little old. See if I can find something better here for you. Alright, sorry about that. Like I said, I'm in the middle of all these projects here and stuff like that, and I just got an email that kind of, took my attention away from the show here. That's what happens when we're doing this stuff live, no editing. But anyways, alright, let's get back into it. So the EPL kicked back off. Manchester United took all 3 points against Watford. Much needed all 3 points. Strikerless Manchester United squad that was. Memphis Depay filling in up front. Beautiful volley to opening the scoring. Beautiful volley, beautiful cross from Ander Herrera, who eventually went off hurt with a hamstring injury. Kind of sucks, because the kid just seems to make things happen when he's on the pitch. Just makes things happen more often than not. Sometimes we capitalize, sometimes we don't. He's like a Chicharito of the midfield. He just seems to make something happen. I'm definitely going to end up skipping through most of this song. Because, it's a build-up. It's a build-up. Watford didn't really press us too much. We definitely controlled the wings. Ashley Young started at right back. We ended up pushing up. He basically played right wing back. We ended up basically going with three in the back. When Herrera went off hurt, we brought Rojo on. Rojo, Smalling, and Jones basically patrolled the middle of the back four. While Blaine and Ashley Young basically owned the sidelines. Pushed up and owned the sidelines. Memphis Depay had a quality game. Quality game for the youngster. A little disappointed. Would have liked to see Ryan Wilson get in the match. See him get some match time, get some fitness. See what the young kids got. It's about time to see what the young kids got on the senior level. Bastian Schweinsteiger was probably the man of the match, in my opinion. He's starting to look more comfortable in his United boots. He's starting to look more comfortable in that United kit. He ended up creating the winning goal. Watford actually tied it up against the run of play, basically. We were controlling the play. We were trying to wind down the clock. And Watford tied it up through a penalty. It was a penalty. It was a penalty. If, who was it? It was a Rojo. Rojo didn't try to go in for the tackle. If he just kind of, like, he was kind of holding him, the referee was letting that go. You know, he was guarding him, like an NBA player would guard a guy when he's posting him up. You know? I think it was Troy Deeney. Deeney had his back to him. And he was guarding him, but, he got a little impatient and went in for the tackle, and he definitely didn't get the ball. It was a penalty. It was a penalty. But we responded right away. Right away, a little old Manchester magic. We're starting to get our magic back. Our mojo's coming back. It's like fucking Austin Powers when he lost his mojo, and he's got to go find it. We didn't have our mojo for like 2 years, United. Starting to get it back. Sorry about the coffee. I haven't had my coffee today. But every man has to die. That's fucking good shit, man. Alright. So United, good performance. Good performance. Former champs bounce back. Edge down a 1-0 win in Norwich. And the Blues look a little bit more like the Blues. A little bit more luck went their way. They would have bagged a few more goals. Costa looked a little bit more of the poacher that he is known for. He covered a little bit more pitch, too. He was a little bit more mobile. A little bit more mobile and into it, Costa was. Same with Fabregas. Fabregas wasn't so much of a ghost that he's been on the pitch. Fabregas was covering a lot of unnecessary ground, put it that way. He wanted the ball. He was saying, give me the ball, give me the ball. And same can be said for Matic. Matic was saying, give me the ball. And when he got the ball, he sprinted forward and tried to create things. He wasn't just sitting back like Matic has been known for in the Chelsea kit. He was definitely bursting forward with that ball, playing some 1-2s. So Chelsea owned the play. Chelsea definitely owned the run of play. John Terry looked a lot more aggressive. Kurt Zuma, he's going to be a keeper. Zuma's going to be a keeper. He's a young lad. He's got a lot of room to grow in those boots still. But he's a strong lad. He's a strong lad. He's smart. He's quick mentally as well. So a little bit more experience, a few more years of experience, and that lad's definitely going to grow into his boots, I think. Chelsea's definitely got a keeper there. Obviously, I'm a big fan of English center backs, so, quite happy with United's situation. But the Jurgen Klopp dynasty has begun. The Jurgen Klopp march towards the top has begun. The era of full metal football has begun. The Reds marched into Manchester and put the sword to the Blues. The blue side of Manchester. I was going to say the sky. I should say Sky Blues. That's what I was going to say. I just don't like saying Sky Blues. It sucks. They put the sword to City. That's what I should have said. The Reds marched into Manchester and put the sword to City. It's a beautiful thing to watch. 4-1 win. The Brazilian duo, Firmino, Coutinho, ran circles around Demichelis. Demichelis definitely lost his legs. Mangala, the Eloquim. I think it's Eloquim Mangala. You have a nice name. You have a cool, kick-ass name. And I was kind of interested in you when United was rumored with you. But I don't know. Unlike Kurt Zuma, who I was just talking to, you just don't seem to have the you're not quick enough mentally, smart enough to make those quick decisions like you have to make in the Premier League. You got the physique, but you got to be quick mentally. You got to be sharp. Don't think you quite got that. Without Vincent Kompany in the back four, City are definitely vulnerable. And Liverpool definitely took advantage of that. Daniel Sturridge was back on the bench. Nice sight for England. Nice sight for Reds fans. I'm a United supporter, so I really don't care about the Reds. But Raheem Sterling, first game back against his former club when he was being a little bitch, being a loser, and forced his way on the Merseyside, basically. He was invisible. He has flashes, but he was invisible for the most part. He wasn't too engaged like he's been for most of the season. Hasn't been too engaged. Wasn't too engaged, sorry. He was invisible, just like Ronaldo. He was like Ronaldo. I'll get to that in a bit. But Coutinho continued his good run of form. Some of the big squads over in Spain are going to be come knocking, i.e. Barcelona. Barcelona's going to come knocking Liverpool. Better watch out. Better sign this kid up. He's got some flair. He's got something in those boots. He's like a poor man's James Rodriguez. That's exactly what Coutinho is. He's a poor man James Rodriguez. And his play suits the Premier League quite well. Kid's not afraid to go in for a tackle. Arsenal, though. Arsenal being Arsenal. Must have had a pretty nice little vacation over the international break now. Eh? That's Arsenal being Arsenal. Letting their guard down. Dropping points in West Brom. Dropping points to West Brom. Nice to see. James Morrison had a beautiful, beautiful volley. If you want to see a nice volley, check the highlights out of that game. Beautiful volley. And once again, injuries. Injuries are catching up to Arsenal. I don't know what it is. Injuries, and sometimes, a lack of some guts just seems to be catching up to Arsenal year in and year out. Conklin picked up another injury during that game. So there's another body on the shelf for Arsenal and Gunner fans. I love the Gunners' talent. I'm a big Wilshere fan. Even though I'm a United supporter, I'm a big Jack Wilshere fan. But the kid can't stay healthy. Like an array of other Gunners players. Mikel Arteta, time has come and gone. Time has come and gone, Mikel Arteta. Time to go back to Spain and play for a lower club. Deportivo La Coruña. It's calling your name. Go back to Deportivo. But anyways, as I mentioned, Ronaldo and Madrid, they have the El Clasico. The El Clasico! Definitely one of the biggest matches in the world. Probably my third favorite match. Well, I like a couple other Premier League matches over it. I gotta be honest. I'm a Premier League guy. But it's up there in my top 5 matches. For me, Manchester Derby takes the cake. Manchester Liverpool probably tied with it. Those are the two big matches I look forward to every year. The North London Derby, Tottenham Arsenal, definitely one of my favorites. United Chelsea. How can I not like United Chelsea in the last 13 years? Definitely grown on it. United Arsenal. There's another one I get up for. I'd say I get up for all of those matches before the El Clasico. But outside the Prem on continental Europe, definitely the El Clasico takes the cake. I usually don't miss it. I've watched it down in Cuba many a times. unlike what Chad Johnston said, Chad Johnston, like, first of all, what are they doing fucking interviewing Chad Johnston for? Like, what does he know about football? And he's not even a big name. There was way bigger names there at the El Clasico than Chad Johnston. Maybe he's just the only one that wanted to talk. But I just laughed that they got Chad Johnston. But he predicted a 3-1 easy victory for Madrid. Like I've been saying all year leading up to this match, if you've been following my podcasts, any of my writings, and of course since I'm a United supporter, like, fuck Rafa Benitez. The guy is a moron. He's a loser. He's a loser. There's no way he's going to beat Barcelona. Not Rafa Benitez. Rafa Benitez is not going to beat Barcelona. Not today, not tomorrow, not on Sunday, on Saturday afternoon. Not going to beat him. He's always a day late, a dollar short. Excuse. Look at the facts. Look at the facts, Benitez. So Luis Suarez, Neymar, and Iniesta basically put the sword to Madrid. Suarez had a beautiful goal. Beautiful goal from the outside of his boot to open the scoring. Beautiful goal. Just grade ace, Luis Suarez. Grade ace. Split the defenders, a little bit of room. Outside of the right boot. Bam, bottom corner. Beautiful. Neymar, basically say it's typical Neymar. Beat the offside trap. Go in alone coming off the wing. Open up his boot. Find the hole. Into the back of the net. Into the back of the net. Barca's midfield basically ran Real Madrid's midfield off the pitch. There was no Real Madrid midfield. Toni Kroos, Luka Modric, where were you? They basically thought they were strikers. They were absent. Completely absent. Madrid's definitely lacking that holding midfielder. They're definitely going to make a move for Paul Pogba. Oh, they're going to make a move for Paul Pogba. Yes, they will. But Paul Pogba is not their solution. Not their solution. They need that holding midfielder. Xabi Alonso. He's a little long in the tooth. They're missing that holding midfielder that's going to push them over the edge. It's going to sit in front of the back four that it's got good passing skills. It's going to move the ball forward. So, and Real Madrid doesn't like to sign those people. They don't like to sign those guys. That's not sexy. So we'll see what Benitez has up his sleeve. Javi Martinez from Barca. It's exactly what from Bayern. That's exactly what they need. A Javi Martinez from Bayern. Oh yeah, I just got a little Rafa Benitez quote for you. It is not. This is from Benitez after the match. It has not gone as we wanted. We wanted to push, attack, get the ball fast. We have made some mistakes and we paid for it. We wanted players of quality and experience. After the game, I must say I chose the wrong 11. This group has the quality to do better than we did. We're all responsible and must find a reaction. And then he refused to comment on James Rodriguez. Benitez, this is on you. You clearly got outcoached. It starts with you. Ronaldo? Well, Ronaldo had no one getting the ball. Real Madrid just didn't have the ball in midfield. Ronaldo had to rely on Real Madrid's back four to get him the ball. That's just not going to cut it. Benzema? Yeah, Benzema. Something about... I can't see Benzema getting along with Benitez either. Just something about it. I just can't see it. Same with James Rodriguez. You know, there's a lot of rumors about Rodriguez and Benitez fighting, Benzema and Benitez fighting, Ronaldo, etc., etc. Which doesn't surprise me because it seems to be like that everywhere Benitez goes. Before I get to some sports picks, just want to go through some rumors. You know, they're saying United's weighing up a move for Berahino. I don't know about that. Chelsea trying to get Sadio Mane. Yeah, I can fucking believe that. I can believe that. Anything else that kind of catches my eye? £25 million for Sadio Berahino. Yeah, I don't know. Tottenham rumored to be moving for Corinthians forward Alexander Pato. Meh. I can't see Pochettino going for that. I just can't. Pochettino likes his young players. He likes his young players. Tottenham does need a backup striker though. Bad. Definitely in need. Depends how much money they want to splash. I can't see them going for Pato. So I call that bullshit. Yeah, some more Gareth Bale, Ronaldo bullshit. You know, and don't believe the Ronaldo rumors to United, people. Don't believe it. It's not going to happen. Not going to happen. Gareth Bale, though, that's plausible. Very much more plausible. His time is running out at Madrid. Anthony Martial's wife, Samantha, tried to get behind her man. She tried to post a message of support before United's clash with Watford. I guess she uploaded a picture of the Emirates to her Instagram, believing it was Old Trafford. Jesus. Now that one stings. That stings. That stings, Samantha. Background check. Come on, that's amateur shit. We got some Champions League coming up this week. United's hosting PSV. Big 3 points, United. Let's take 3 points away and we can cruise into that final game. And play some youngsters. I love seeing the youngsters play. I want to see Pereira get a little bit more match time. Obviously, Lingard. I've been a big fan of Lingard. I like to see that. That's one good thing about Louis van Gaal. Loves to play the youngsters as well. Other than that, nothing really. Oh, and congrats to Jamie Vardy. 10 goals in 10 matches. 10 goals, 10 matches. Right on, Vardy. Next week, actually, in the Prem, it's a clash. A top-of-the-table clash, actually. Top-of-the-table clash. Who would have thought? Leicester versus United. Leicester versus Manchester United. Looking forward to it. Rumors about Robin van Persie leaving for Feyenoord from Fenerbahce. I can believe that. I think his wife will want to go back home. He started his career there. Huh. Nothing really. Yeah, Turry. Yeah. Alright. So I was all over the Minnesota Vikings yesterday. Actually, to be perfectly honest with you, I'll play a little bit of tunes here. But, to be perfectly honest with you, I had my first bad day in the NFL. When I was going through the family crisis, family emergency stuff, I didn't really get too many bets in. So my head was elsewhere, obviously. But, this week was a little bit of a disaster. Not much. Saved it late. but definitely didn't start off well. I was all over the Vikings. Definitely thought they could step up. Wasn't believing the continued Green Bay hype, saying they're going to snap out of it. They're going to snap out of it. But Eddie Lacy snapped down a bit with his first 100-yard game of the season. For all you fantasy owners out there with Eddie Lacy, I don't know how many of you dropped them. I had Eddie Lacy. I told him to fuck off. Don't got him no more, but my running backs took a big hit. Speaking of injuries, I don't know whose fantasy team didn't take an injury last night. Yesterday. Mine sure did. I'll get to that in a bit. Yeah, but the Vikings bounced back. The blowout victory against the Vikings. Green Bay, bounced back. Green Bay. Not a huge Green Bay fan, like I've stated. But Aaron Rodgers looks like Aaron Rodgers. They balanced it a little bit better. Rodgers only threw for 34 times. 34 attempts. Ain't no 60 attempts, eh? Ain't no 60 attempts. 34, much more balanced, much more reasonable. Starks and Eddie Lacy handle the ball a lot more. I think that's going to trend. That's going to be a trend we're going to see down the stretch for the Green Bay Packers. They got to get back to it. They were so unbalanced. So unbalanced. They just don't have the wide receiver talent. Devontae Adams, not as good as people once thought. Not as good as people once thought. I think he's still battling some injuries. Cobb's getting a little older for wide receivers, especially those speedy slot wide receivers, especially when you got to move them out wide. But definitely have to run the ball to compensate for missing Jordy Nelson. They have to run the ball. That's what I thought when I drafted Eddie Lacy early. I was like, alright, they lost Jordy Nelson. They're going to have to really balance this offense and rely on it. So I look for Eddie Lacy to have a good stretch of games, I think, for all you fantasy owners out there. And look for the Vikings to bounce back. The Vikings will bounce back. They're a wild card team. They're a wild card team in the NFC. More injury news. Marshawn Lynch didn't play. I'm not allowed Thomas Rawls to fucking explode for another game. Every time this kid fills in for Marshawn Lynch, he just goes off. Just goes off. 209 yards rushing yesterday against San Francisco. Yeah, it is San Francisco. I got it. It's San Francisco. But 209 yards, don't see that every day by running backs. Don't see that every day. It's another one for you fantasy owners to keep an eye on. Keep an eye on the Marshawn Lynch situation. He's going down to get his abdomen injury, checked out. Second opinion. Dr. William Myers. That's who he's going to check out in Philadelphia. So I could see him missing another week or two. And put it this way, people. Put it this way. Lynch don't care if he's in Seattle next year. Lynch just wants to get paid properly. He wants to be healthy, and he wants to get paid properly. So, people might think Lynch isn't the smartest or the sharpest tool in the drawer because he's quiet. But he's smart. He's smart. Look how he brands himself. This is Torsion, another band I grew up with. Saw these guys many times around the dungeon, around the GTA, around the Oshawa music scene when I was growing up. Every time I switch this music here, it kind of takes my concentration away. Trying to do something a little different here because I'm in, you know, just pulled up a lot of these old tunes actually. Pulled out some old CDs. So Rawls, yeah, you gotta keep an eye on Rawls. It's his third 100-yard rushing game of the season. He's only Lynch's backup, so it's not bad, not bad. Seattle's definitely making a push towards the playoffs. Definitely putting their stake in the ground in the NFC West, that is. Saying, Arizona, we ain't going nowhere. We ain't going nowhere. So you're looking in the NFC, you're looking at Minnesota, and you're looking at Seattle as your prime wildcard teams going down the stretch here. Because Arizona and Green Bay are going to be trying to fight them off and win those divisions. But they'll make a push. They'll make a push. I think both those teams will make a push. The AFC is a little bit more fucked up. The AFC is right fucked up. I'll end the NFL here, and I'll get to some sports picks for you. A little Marcus Mariota talk. A little Tennessee Titans. My team. Even though we're 2-8. 2-8. I've been seeing signs. Some promising signs. We just need Mariota to stay healthy. We need to upgrade that offensive line. We need to keep upgrading that offensive line. The more this kid can stay upright on his feet, the more points we're going to pull on the board. Better off we're going to be. He's averaging 250 yards per game through 8 games. 2-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio. Not bad. Not bad. He's slinging it. He's averaging 7.82 yards per attempt. 8th best in the league. That's not bad. That's what we like to see. Now his running game sucks. We need a running back. We need a running back, Tennessee. From Eddie George, Chris Johnston, we've always had a running back, you know, we can rely on. Let's keep this kid upright. Let's give him a running back. Our defense starting to come around. McCourtney got hurt again, so that sucks. There goes our best defensive back. But Marcus Mariota, definitely going to be a quarterback to look at in fantasy football next year. Especially if Tennessee can upgrade some weapons and upgrade that offensive line. He's going to put points up on the board. I think they're going to unleash his feet a little bit more too. They're going to be cautious, but I think they're going to unleash his ground game a little bit more too. So I got 7 plays for you tonight. 7 plays. One's already in action right now. Just pull up some information here for you. Alright, so we might as well start off with the wager that we have in play right now. If anyone wants to jump on it here. Crystal Palace is playing host to the Black Cats. Sam Allardyce and the Sunderland men are searching for 3 desperate points. Sitting in 19th place in the table, 6 points on the season. They're looking for 3 points. Crystal Palace, I think they're sitting with 19 points, to be honest with you. They've had a good start to their campaign. Good run, good run. I like the under in this game. I really like the under. But when I'm getting Sunderland or a draw at plus 138, I gotta take it, especially if I think it's going to be an under. Under 2.5 total goals. So Sunderland's got a good chance. I really do think it's going to be a draw. I really do think it's going to be a draw. But Sam Allardyce is, you know, he's going to motivate his new squad. That's what Sam Allardyce does. He keeps teams up. And if they do go down, he gets them back. Sam Allardyce is a fighter. So I think Sunderland's going to take on that persona. They needed one of those managers, a fighter. So once again, yeah, many times I went and seen these guys around the Oshawa music scene live. Grade 9, grade 10. Headbanging with like 30 people. But hey, man, there were 30 dedicated people in the crowd, I can tell you that much. So, actually, we had some bigger crowds, man. Some of the competitions and stuff like that. Some of the competitions, we had some pretty good crowds. 100 people or so, 150 people or so. Pretty good crowds, actually, you know, for that time. For a bunch of little young punks. Young malheads. But I got Sunderland at plus 138 to win or draw this match. So keep an eye on it. It's in play. You can still get the same odds as we speak. It's at the 19th minute mark. Check it out. Alright, let's get to a little bit more serious stuff a little bit later in the day. So as you know, I'm a big NCAA basketball fan. Love my NCAA. Big Michigan Wolverines supporter. Tough loss the other day. Tough loss to Xavier. We didn't have any answer down low. Didn't have any answer down low. And our defense was fucking horrible. I don't know what you're doing. Didn't know what we were doing. Like, I understand that some guys were collapsing into the middle when Xavier point guards, when the Xavier guards were driving to the paint. I understand some of our guys collapsing and double teaming them. But our whole fucking team was collapsing. Our whole fucking team, like 3, 4 at a time. The fucking wings were wide open the whole second half. Fucking Xavier was just fucking picking them off with their wingmen. The guards would drive, the wingmen would just step back, fucking wide open. Trey. Or they could fucking drive the basket. Like, fuck. But, seen some good signs. Walton Jr. was quiet. He's not going to be quiet too much. We'll bounce back. But alright. So a couple games caught my eye on the hard court in NCAA basketball. First game I liked, which is already off the board and kicking, was DePaul hosting Norfolk State. DePaul are -8 favorites. I like Norfolk at +8. I got Norfolk at +8. I think they can hang tough. They're a road team that can score points. I always say the Big East is a little overrated. So right now I'm riding Norfolk State +8 against DePaul. I said the match just kicked off. I'm pretty sure it was a 3 o'clock kickoff. Another game that kind of caught my eye was Wake Forest on the road against Indiana. I was just ripping the Big East. But when you're getting 12.5 points on the road with a team that can really put up some points against a Big Ten team that, you know, they don't mind slowing it down. They'll take the win. They don't always have to cover. That's what Big Ten teams do. They just win. But I think Wake Forest, the Demon Deacons, will hang tough against Indiana. Indiana's -12.5 point favorites. The over-under in this game is 167.5, which I like to see points. I'll take Wake Forest at +12.5. So once again, I got Norfolk State +8 against DePaul. I'll take Wake Forest +12.5 against Indiana. Drake. No, not Toronto's Drake. Not that idiot. Not that loser. Drake University is on the road against Western Kentucky, the Hilltoppers, one of the best names in college. Western Kentucky Hilltoppers. I'd almost want to go to Western Kentucky so I can say I was a Hilltopper. I think we're going to see some points in this game. Western Kentucky's minus 5.5 point favorites. Over-under in this game is 141.5. Western Kentucky put up 85 points at Belmont. They're going to be able to put some points up. So they've proven they can put some points up on the road, even though they're at home. I could say the same thing about Drake. Drake put 75 up against Tulane. So I like to see that. I'm not too discouraged. Western Kentucky only won 67-66 against Stony Brook, but that's a look-ahead game. That's a look-ahead game. So I'll take the Hilltoppers and Drake to go over the total. I'll take the over 141.5. Continue on my adventure around the hard court and get up to the professional leagues. Little NBA action going on tonight. I'm here in Toronto. No Raptors in action. So I'm not sure if this will be on the old television. I'll have to fucking flick around. But the Orlando Magic are on the road in Cleveland. Cleveland are now 8.5 point favorites. It was 9 about an hour ago. If you like the Cavaliers, wait on it. If you like the Magic, get on it. Over-under in this game is 198.5. I like the under 198.5. I like the under. A good little tidbit of information. Magic are 8-5 against the spread this year. They're a nice little team to watch. I know I've been on the right side of a couple Magic games this year so far. But I'll take the under 198.5 in the Cavaliers Magic matchup. And the woeful Philadelphia 76ers are on the road in Minnesota. Timberwolves are playing some alright basketball this year. They're playing some basketball. Playing attractive basketball. Minnesota's 6-14 against the spread. In the last 20 against Philly. But Philly's just fucking awful. Philly's awful. 3-11 straight up on the road against Minnie. 3-6 ATS in the last 9. Minnesota's 0-5 ATS in their last 5 home games. So something's got to give. But I'm going to avoid the sides. And I'm going to play under. Under 201. It's actually risen. So the Timberwolves are minus 8 favorites. Over-under in this game is 202.5. I got it under 201.5. So we've seen some line movement in the last hour. Not too concerned. Once again, I'll recap most of these games. I'm just trying to get through it. To be honest with you, I'm trying to get back in the groove of things. Got a lot of things on my mind. Got a lot of things to do and not a lot of time. First one back is always weak. You got to get in that consistent flow. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to move off the hard court. We'll move over to the pond. No football action tonight. No NFL. No NCAA football. Move over to the pond, though. We got the Washington Capitals playing host to the Edmonton Oilers. The Oilers just suck. The Oilers are awful. Capitals are minus 210 favorites on the money line. Over-under in this game is 5.5 pucks. I'll take the Washington Capitals minus 210. And I'll parlay them up with the Winnipeg Jets, who are minus 170 favorites against the Colorado Avalanche. The over-under in this game is 5.5. Colorado's on a fucking long road trip. Right at the tail end. They don't like betting on teams at the tail end of a road trip. They just want to get home. Winnipeg's, they're a streaky team. Winnipeg's all about the streak. They've won their last 2. I see them winning 3 on the trot. They're 5-1 in their last 6 at home against Colorado. 4-2 straight up in the last 6 at home. Colorado's 5-11 straight up in their last 16 games overall. Might see some goals in this game, but I will take the Winnipeg Jets at -170. Pulling them up with the Washington Capitals at -210. Plus 138, plus 140 parlay, somewhere in around there. Thank you very much. Just to recap my plays before I get out of here for you. So 2 of them are in progress right now. Across the pond over in Europe, little Barclays Premier League action continues today. Crystal Palace are at home against Sunderland. I'm riding Sunderland to win or draw at plus 138. I also like the under in that game. On the NCAA hardcourt, DePaul hosting Norfolk State. I'm on Norfolk State plus 8. I think they can hang with them. A little bit later on the NCAA hardcourt, the Wake Forest Demon Deacons are on the road in Indiana. Indiana's minus 12.5 point favorites. The over-under in this game is 141.5. I like Wake Forest at plus 12.5. I also like the over too. The over looks really appealing. It's 167.5. 167.5 is the over. Fuck, I'm fucking just amateuring this up today. But anyways, Drake's on the road against, the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers. Western Kentucky's minus 5.5 point favorites. Over-under in this game is 141.5. That's where I was getting the 141. I'll take the over, 141.5. In the NBA tonight, Orlando Magic are on the road against Cleveland. Cleveland, as it stands, are minus 8.5 point favorites. Over-under in this game is 198.5. I'll take the under. Under. Philadelphia 76ers, looking for the first win. We're on the road against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Andrew Wiggins-led Minnesota Timberwolves. Minnesota's minus 8 point favorites. The over-under in this game is 201. It's actually up to 202.5 now. But I got it at 201. I'll take the under. Take the under. I'm not too concerned. And in the NHL, on the pond, not across the pond, but on the pond, on the frozen pond, Washington Capitals are playing host to the Edmonton Oilers. They're minus 210 favorites. I'll take the Washington Capitals at minus 210, and I'll parlay them up with the Winnipeg Jets at minus 170. They're playing host to the Colorado Avalanche, who are on the end of a long-ass road trip. And remember, if you're not laying the money down, you're not winning.
Together in the water, lost and stoned.